If you are watching this and listening to this and you don't have a fucking drink ready, you are not a real goon. We are incorporating now the Australian definition of goon, like we're co-opting it. But if you are Gen Z, this is just for Gen Zers because I do think it's entirely like a drastic difference for millennials. Gen Z, you have zodiacal placements that make you not like to drink, and that is a bad thing. That is not good. Throughout all of human history, we have had drinks, and you have major placements in Aquarius. You have Neptune and Uranus, most likely. Neptune, Uranus in Aquarius. What do we know about Aquarius? The stone of Aquarius. Do you know what it is, Mr. C?
Is it turquoise?
No.
Is it plutonium?
No, it is amethyst. And what does amethyst mean in Greek? Not drunk. Aquarius is the stone of sobriety. The Greeks would make cups out of amethyst. They believed they could drink as much as they want and not get drunk when drinking from an amethyst cup. So you, Gen Z, are having trouble drinking. This is why you are at home, smoking on cart, alone and sad. When you should be at the bar, at the pub, at the barcade, sipping on one. Join me. Come. It's time. We're taking a swig right now. Let's say Hanoi.
Annoy.
There we go. Okay.
The Viabilis, Zoomer, Gen Alpha, Screen Addict.
You are so quiet right now.
It's quiet.
You got to speak up. Tell him like you mean it. There you go.
I don't know. In my travels, I'm gonna like yell now. It's why. I don't know why it's like this. Is this the fucking AirPods? Maybe
this is good. I'm looking at your waves. In the app.
Is this better?
This is good. Yeah.
I turned my volume at max in my ears.
Okay.
Wait, there might be one more thing I can do. One more little trick up my sleeve. Okay. What I was gonna say is, in my travels, interacting with the creme de la creme of Zoomer influencers, these wonderful 19-year-olds, the claviculars. I'm talking the top tier talent. With rare exceptions, they be on their phone. They do not speak to anyone in public. They're very autistic. Clavicular himself takes muscle relaxants and all these inhibition lowerers, which frankly, I think for many flaws he might contain within himself, and racking himself with those poisons is probably better than some of the other ones. And the ability to speak to people, the ability to orate at length, is a forgotten talent that the hyper specialized autistic Aquarian Zoomer thinks their infinite AI induced expertise is enough to get them through life, but you will be mogged by the bar guy. We know
I
a
think
bar
they
guy.
also just don't understand that life is kind of about just having fun. Like the Zoomer does not have fun. Period. This is a great shame. I think we've talked about it. We haven't talked about it on the podcast, but it's something we've been talking about a lot this year, last year. When you get Zoomer famous, what is the fucking point? because you don't know how to have fun with fame, with money, with social capital. Like, you don't, these people don't know what to do with what they have.
I mean, I will say the difference between, I think the age it really starts to collapse is around 26 and upwards. Is like the begin of this 15-year cohort that is like peak internet induced autism. Like that zillennial cusp still likely did party a little bit. But it was, the pandemic was the great divide, and there's like a specific age range during the pandemic. But the difference between the clout house era of fame, because those kids made a lot of money on YouTube and they partied. That the coolest influencers, Steve will do it, would, you know, chug a liter of vodka and then go puke it up behind the house. But it was the coolest thing that he could chug liters of vodka somehow. Now they get famous and they just be grooming on their phone, and they be grooming themselves because a lustful, beautiful, fucking like looking cool is the ultimate high ideal. Having aura.
Hashtag molested myself to look cool.
I think Discord's another, like Discord was a big the amount of grooming on Discord. We've talked about this many times, but I think at this point they're just that you can just get groomed on TikTok, not even in the DMs. You can just get groomed looking at a video. You don't even need to talk to anyone. You can
EPE maxing. You remember that?
No, what is EPE maxing?
Well, you watched the giggly goon clown video, the early porn exposure. It's something Charles Carroll talks about. You know, if you watched porn at a certain young age, like you were molested by the internet. The internet UFO. The internet UFO was mysterious skin all along. Okay, I have a lot of topics. I have lots of topics, but do you want to give one to start? Do you have anything? Mine are not very timely. Mine are just general things I've stored up and built up.
Oh, yeah, maybe you go and I'll think if I can think of anything. I was just gonna kind of come on and react.
All right.
I'm
Should I start with jerking myself off or with something general?
That is, I would say, in the semiotics of the MIA pod, Chris jerking himself off is probably 60% of what this is. So let's start there.
Okay, I've been looking back at my old writing. I've been looking back at my prophetic writing. Number one, I think one of the if I were a lesser person, I would have hinged my analytic career on calling Dogecoin, because I called it extremely accurately years before, including that it would become a government agency and that it was linked directly to Elon Musk, how it would be. But what I want to talk about right now is an essay that I wrote in 2018 about AI, years before ChatGPT. I'll just get a good simple line from it. Okay. Researchers imagine... Oh, no. There we go. Why should a divine instrument be damned to share our own limitations, our own weaknesses? It is our weakness that demands a maternal, artificial goddess to care for us, raise us from our darkness. Researchers imagine AI as being capable of governing, production, etc. Mommy dearest. This is infinitely dangerous, as in The Child of the Aeon, we are given an opportunity to grow, to become greater, stronger, to accept our humanity. Instead, we seek regression, an infinite regression to the dawn of man, when matriarchal societies were dominant. Mother Earth has proven bitter to our sharp tongues. We much prefer the ergonomic, progressive, sensitive, artificial breast. Are we not ashamed to breastfeed now? Only bottles manufactured in China, with formula developed by nutritionists. Everything perfectly in order, without any of the horrible eternity of nature. AI is adult daycare at best. At worst, we will come to understand patricide and infanticide all in one. I also predicted the Venezuela thing. I was getting very into filibusters, Blood Meridian style filibusters of like gangs of Americans going to South America and overthrowing governments.
Do you think the Marines or whatever listening to Chief Keef were a gang of sorts? Or what about the ICE agents? Do you think I feel
I
like
don't want to
that's
talk about this.
actively supporting genocide right now? We need to come out as anti-ICE now. I mean, let's not get into it. I am frankly, my head has been buried in the scriptures of internet insanity, and I will say I don't know that much about it, but what I do see seems. I mean, I think Fuentes put it well. A broken clock's right twice a day. In that the performative cruelty, but there is a vibe. I don't. Do you feel like the Venezuela thing was a filibuster, or was it?
Yes, that's the closest thing to a filibuster we've had in since the '80s, at least.
I guess the maybe the like okay, let's imagine all of the government apparatuses that are interacting. Like this is the one that orchestrated Charlie Kirk's assassination. This like complex here. Where does how many people decided on the Venezuela thing, or was it like a small cohort that's just like fuck it, do it now, run it? Because it did.
We
I mean,
can't even talk about this because there are people that we know that are too close to talk about this. We would be endangering people. We can't talk about it. There's top secret information. We need to move on. Let it be known. Let it be known. We have zero opinions. We are weak cowards. Number one, first and foremost, in the face of any problem, we will cower to the highest bidder. Um,
I'm an untethered man now, and I've made my career calling not Dogecoin, but something else. A different.
what could that be? Um,
No, I have no idea what I could be talking
do you
about
do
right
you
now.
want to come over? I have spoiled pork chops to feed you. I want to watch you get sick. If I gave you a serum that would turn you into a puddle, would you take it? If
This
I
is
gave
like
you
the
a
internal monologue of the doctor I saw recently. I would like to torture you and watch your reaction.
the acupuncturist,
No,
he's
he's
good,
cool. He's
noble.
cool.
You went? Did you go to
He's a
see
noble.
Doctor Benway?
I did. I just I feel like interacted with like a relic of the COVID era. They were masked and they like had this piercing hatred, and they mentioned I had said no to a flu shot, and I had like a week long sinus infection, and they were like
Should have got.
they wanted
Yeah,
me to
should have gotten
perish.
that one. They saw your vitality, even in illness. Your vitality was profound, and they needed to kill it.
More topics, more topics. I mean, I'll comment on what you said. The AI thing was very prescient. The Doge thing, I mean, I think that the greatest MIA work, the most unsung MIA work that they had to actively nuke off the world was wearing Jedi robes and mocking people at CoinDesk and telling them,
Well,
trying
yeah,
to fuck.
that we called the crash the day of, like we caused the crash.
We spent most of that convention seducing Kimball Musk's wife.
We were
She was
seducing. We were undoubtedly the most seductive people there by far. It was terrifying. The
Um,
kind of
all
the
right.
beastly.
What was the you said one more thing though? It's not the Venezuela thing, not the Doge thing, not the I guess the AI thing. I mean, the most interesting AI idea I have heard is that it can't do astrology, and
It can.
a big theme of the next month will be the MIA venturing into the astrological realms, and
Well,
I
yeah.
do
Let's
believe.
talk a little bit more about Aquarius, about the Aquarian Zoomer.
I guess I'll just say that the only hope of what AI could do, if untethered to the people trying to make it into a adult daycare, um, with its sycophantic self soothing, um, you know, not this, but this. Actually, killing yourself is a statement. It's it's a
It's the
way to
most
tell
powerful
people,
thing you can do.
no, don't ask for help. Um, oh my god.
I actually
I think
do. Oh, sorry, go on. But I have an
we should pitch an AI add-on to help the assisted suicides. It's like the chamber in The King in Yellow. It's like a chamber that talks to you,
We
just
need
to
to
lure
make
you in to kill yourself.
a Hoster chatbot. Tells you only unhearable secrets. Um,
All right, what were you gonna say?
so something that I've been thinking about for quite a while that I was going to write a piece about, but I think it's better to just talk about now, especially in reference to the Aquarian Zoomer, is, the aeonic axis that we are on right now, the axis of Aquarius and Leo. You've heard us talk before about the libidinal elite. Leo is the libidinal elite. Leo is the influencer. Leo is the person that you are watching, the person that the masses are watching, the Aquarian masses. And of course, this is also sexual. This is like we're looking at the dynamic of the whore of Babylon, the whore of Babylon riding on the many-headed beast. You, as viewer, are the many-headed beast. We are the whore sitting upon you. And this is the nature, I think. Yeah, it's something that a lot of like the red pill people talk about, and it's actually something I think they're going to end up being right about. I don't think it's the case. I think it's very occasionally the case now, but it's going to become the norm, where there are essentially, whore e-girls with, polycules of worshippers. And this is natural and good for the Aeon. You, as an MIA listener, should seek to be a Leonic individual, not an Aquarian beast head. But for the chicken nugget people that are not listening, for the chicken nugget people at home, you are going to become a part of a box meal.
Beautiful, unfathomable shape. I thought you were gonna say like there's do I'm sure you know Nick Shirley, the
Yeah.
Somali fraud guy. He is an archetype of like a really retarded conservative like white dude influencer who is,
Well, you heard he's like, I'm not having. I haven't had sex. I'm saving for marriage.
but the a common talking point of maybe like this guy but like one deviation over is they're like we are living in Babel. Like they're like
They are
say
right.
talking. I know, so that's I feel like it's like it's they are saying things that are they're stumbling into the right answers. It's an
Yes.
odd time to be in where it's like
Well, this has
yes,
always been the
you're right.
case. And this has been the case with conspiracy theories forever, which is essentially that you are seeing something and you're entirely misinterpreting it, which is like, oh my God, we're in end times, we're in Babylon, but it's like, yeah, you should be of the kings and lords of the earth while you still can, homie. You should not be, pathetic and sad and crushed underfoot.
I mean, at the core of, I think, the meme analysis understanding of conspiracy, they are just like collective interactions with these like core archetypes that,
Yes, the
you know, the
apocalypse is
reason
happening all the
it's
time. The apocalypse is happening constantly. The end times is all times. We're just we are in a highly personalized, a highly individualized form of Babylon now, where there are many, 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 many popular horrors of Babylon with many, many, many beasts. They all, of course, coagulate into one great beast, one great whore. But it's a dynamic that is now viral, spreading, personalized. So that is the key difference, and that is why being aware of it now is important.
we got to get you on the whatever pod, and the headline will be like, white boy perfectly dissects the archetypal significance of egro demonic possession,
Oh,
and
I mean, this
you
is the
have
shit. I
to.
mean, but yet again, it's good to be a horror of Babylon. Being the Leonic individual is the moral good in this dynamic. The moral wrong is being crushed or being coagulated into the
No,
chicken
I
nugget
mean,
beast.
if you are a chicken nugget person, is the moral good to be a chicken nugget person?
Yes,
So that's, I mean,
but if
some
you
of
have
y'all
the
in the
choice,
audience.
I don't think anybody in our audience is going to be a chicken nugget person. I have hope.
I
I have
think some of them. I think if I do my job and market this well, then we will get some chicken nuggets in the audience. But I think that could be, if if you know, if you know, you ain't built for that shit. Be a chicken nugget, man.
if your dick
There's
ain't big.
joy. there's there's freedom. There's freedom in
If
being a
you're under
chicken nugget.
10 inches, you are a chicken nugget person.
We should sell MIA cock pumps. Um,
Oh, that's so, it's
Orgonomic
so disgusting. It's so disgusting.
cock pumps. It's just like
Oh, we're selling the
it's
syringe
a
with the
cod
lemon juice.
it's a cod piece, and there's just like a piece of organite like crested in.
Okay, that I like. That I'm enjoying. Let's talk about.
I do that. That is actually this. I mean, from just a really evil selling to the chicken nugget people thing, I think a huge chunk of the populace would surround their penis in organite crystals to enlarge it. If we had a compelling spokesperson, and it would probably work better than
Jelking
the
machine.
I do you did you watch the Turkey Tom thing on Clavicular?
Yes. Yeah, the lemon juice.
Enough said. We'll leave that one at
Uh,
that one.
let's. I want to
Leave
talk
that at
about.
that.
I want to talk about typewriters. Opposite direction of all of this, returning to tradition. I found a lot of inspiration, a lot of hope, and freedom in writing on a typewriter. I don't know if you wrote on it when you were over at mine, but I spent quite a
I
lot
think I
of
wrote my name. I remember writing my name.
I spent quite a lot of this year typing, greatly enjoying it. Love typing. You should get a type. Basically, what I'm saying is that if you were listening, you should get a typewriter. If you want to write with freedom. You need a typewriter. It should be in the trunk of your car, so that when you're on the goon drive, when you arrive somewhere and you're sitting, you should be typing.
When you is when you get in a car accident, you take out your typewriter. When you're stuck at a stoplight for a long time, take it out instead of going on your phone.
You should be.
Um,
I mean, you should be typing and driving. Even on that
documenting.
topic, let's talk about Marinetti. Let's talk about Tom
Wait,
Marinetti,
I'm gonna try to pull the
the Zang Tum Tum.
yeah, so you can play it.
There's
You
one
start
on.
talking.
There's it's on YouTube. I texted it to you.
I've got
So
it.
yeah, play it. Play it. Listen to this, folks.
No, wait. I need like you give an intro for what this is, and
Okay,
I'll need to download it.
Marinetti is the founder of Italian Futurism. Futurism, I would say, is one of the most prophetic and effective art movements in history, one might even say. The impact it had on the world is unparalleled, and everybody should read the Futurist Manifesto. But in that context, he also began to write very, very fascinating poetry, which inspired our invention, our creation of Italian Brainrot. So enjoy the origin.
Still extracting the
Oh, you're
YT.
downloading it.
I have to put it in, but um, maybe talk about Marinetti and D'Annunzio.
They are pals. They are friends. Um,
Would
they
you
are.
say who's the Unk and Neff in that dynamic?
I mean, D'Annunzio is Unk, but he is based Unk. Marinetti is nephew. Marinetti is
Where
younger.
is okay if D'Annunzio was unking for Mussolini and Marinetti, who is Marinetti? He's like the dope nephew. Mussolini went. He was like
Mussolini betrayed all of them. Mussolini, also everybody should watch Mussolini, Son of the Century, one of the best shows ever, and an extremely good depiction of D'Annunzio in it. D'Annunzio and Marinetti are both portrayed fantastic. I mean, everybody in it's portrayed fantastically, but like the people I like, Marinetti and D'Annunzio, are portrayed very well. Just I've not seen such good television in a very long time. But I've been watching The Sopranos. Um, yeah, it's great.
I'm on season 4 of The Sopranos. I finally did it. I finally did it.
After all the time you've spent in New Jersey.
I feel like I understand Italy so much more. It's the best depiction of the modern Italian American.
Did I have I told my grandmother is so happy. That's like of all because she doesn't understand the internet. Of all the things I've done, she was the happiest about my working in Italy this summer. She's like, he made it back to the homeland. He made it back to the mother country. She's like very, very proud, and she tells all the family.
You should fuck, who's the ponytail guy? I'm blanking on his name.
Furio.
Yeah, we should get a Furio.
Yeah, I don't have. See, that's actually one. I have a lot of French, a lot of Netherlands, a lot of even German friends, but I don't have any Italian friends. I think they are too cool for MIA. They are still too libidinal of a people.
All right, well, we're about to change that. Feast your eyes, open your ears.
Ogni 5 secondi cannoni d'assedio sventare spazio con un accordo. Pam, bum bum. Ammutinamento di 500 echi per affannarlo, sminuzzarlo, sparpagliarlo all'infinito. Nel centro di quei pom pum, spiaccicati, ampiezza 50 km quadrati, balzare scoppi, tagli, pugni, batteria tiro rapido, violenza, ferocia, regolarità. Questo basso grave, scandali strani, folli agitatissimi, acuti della battaglia, furia, affanno, orecchi, occhi, narici, aperti, che gioia, vedere, udire, fiutare, tutto, taratatà delle mitragliatrici, strigliare per di fiato sotto morsi, schiaffi, pit-pac, puntum, pizzerie, salti, 200 metri, fucileria. Giù in fondo all'orchestra, stagni di guazzare, buoi, bufali, pungoli, carri, flic-flac, zin, shock, illeri, nitriti, 3 battaglioni bulgari in marcia, croc, crac, Sumi Marizza, o Carvaveda, gran, 200 tanti in arrivo, 149 in partenza, croc, crac. Grida gli ufficiali, sbattacchiare come fiati d'ottone, pan di qua, pan di là, cim, bum, 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 ciao! Bello, vampe, ribalta di forti, vampe, ribalta di forti, vampe. Laggiù, dietro quel fiume, Shukri Pasha comunica telefonicamente con 27 forti in turco e tedesco. Allora Ibrahim
He got Bombadillo Crocodilo.
Isn't that crazy? You can hear it so clearly. Also, really notable of future. I feel like we've talked about this before, but worth saying again. Just like Bob, just like much of my own work, futurism begins with a car accident. Futurism begins with Marinetti's car crash. It's a very significant event. He writes about it in the manifesto. But I want to find you all some of the lines, some of the dictates. We have the MIA edicts, but they have some very fascinating edicts that are worth looking at. Let me pull this up. Okay, zooming in. Okay, let's see. We intend to sing the love of danger, the habit of energy and fearlessness. Courage, audacity, and revolt will be essential elements of our poetry. Up to now, literature has exalted a pensive immobility, ecstasy, and sleep. We intend to exalt aggressive action, a feverish insomnia, the racer's stride, the mortal leap, the punch, and the slap. We affirm that the world's magnificence has been enriched by a new beauty, the beauty of speed, a racing car whose hood is adorned with great pipes, like serpents of explosive breath. A roaring car that seems to ride on grape shot is more beautiful than the victory of Samothrace. We want to hymn the man at the wheel, who hurls the lance of his spirit across the earth, along the circle of its orbit. The poet must spend himself with ardor, splendor, and generosity, to swell the enthusiastic fervor of the primordial elements. Except in struggle there is no more beauty. No work without an aggressive character can be a masterpiece. Poetry must be conceived as a violent attack on unknown forces, to reduce and prostrate them before man. We will destroy the museums, libraries, academies of every kind. We'll fight moralism, feminism, every opportunistic or utilitarian cowardice. Though he did end up changing his mind and made women futurist as well. And futurist feminism did come to exist. But Marinetti, futurism, obviously this has been the course of the world. Very, very obviously. Whether or not one agrees with it or not, futurism has been the case of human development for the past century at least.
What was the role of women in Fume?
All right, Professor. Thanks a lot. To amuse D'Annunzio, to inspire him, to be beautiful, to have fun, to write. I mean, women were equal. Actually, now that you say it, I was giving a bit of a shorthand to D'Annunzio. Fiume is the first place in the world to have universal suffrage. It's the first place in the world where voting rights were given to women. It is also the first place in the world where homosexuality was made legal, where everybody was equal. This is like legitimately a revolutionary thing. Lenin, of course, says D'Annunzio is the most revolutionary man in Europe. And it's true. All right, on to the future. Let's move on to new. I think everybody watching this should live out pornographic fantasies. I think that any fantasy that goes unexperienced, any fantasy that remains in the mind on the screen is poison.
Racking ourselves with it.
One should dive full force into derangement of the senses for the sake of magic. Don't dream it, be it.
What happens if some of the more deranged chicken nugget people want to do things that are...
They will be destroyed. They will destroy themselves.
All right, that's a good self-correction mechanism.
It's true.
I think
Did you see the meme that I sent? The 6'7" stick bug? Look in the
I
goon.
saw the like cat that's like the do
I
you
do
know
like the cat.
6'7"? Have you heard of 6'7"?
Now look at what I sent. Look at what I sent.
Very good. I'm pulling up the IG. Let's take a look. We got and Backtooth watching you buy. They Chrome Hard Sip Up. Where is this? Oh,
Pull it up. Look at that.
all right, tell me what is the what's the analysis of this?
I was actually, I filmed a video about this like a month ago, but I'm going to spoil it for everybody. I'm still going to put the video up at some point when a certain somebody, probably who isn't even listening, when Marley decides to edit it, it'll be out. But let's talk about 6'7". So 6'7" is, I believe, best understood Kabbalistically. So let's just start out. You know how that's like partially from a song. I know he dying 6'7". Have you heard this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Skrilla. He loves to skateboard. He was with the 6'7" kid at that.
What is it? Okay. Did he
thing.
do that thing?
Yeah.
Okay. So
we did
I
an event with
can't wait to talk.
Hyperpop.
I want to talk about it so bad because that was like a great work of ours. Anyway, so on the tree of life, the Sephirot are numbered. 6 is Tiferet, the sun. 7 is Venus, Netzach. The path between Tiferet and Netzach is Nun, which is death, which is Scorpio. A scorpion, a bug. The stick bug typing 6'7" is the perfect image of the Kabbalistic 6'7". 6'7" is death. That is my essential argument. I'm not sure if you've heard this, but like Libra originally was a component of a greater Scorpio. They were the claws of the scorpion. So when people do this, they are moving the claws of the scorpion. This also reminds me.
The scales of Libra.
Yes, the scales of Libra are the claws of the greater scorpion. And this also reminds me of the, death in Egypt, the weighing of the heart against the feather of truth. But beyond all that, it's simply the most important and best meme in years, maybe ever, because it is a physical motion. The physical motion is what makes it such a powerful meme. It's not a picture. It's not just a phrase. It is a phrase and a movement. It is a ritual. It is a ritual movement. Like I told you, Tessa, in Greece, the children, they count down or count up in Greek. I don't know what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is in Greek, but then they, in English, say 6, 7. So it'd be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They do that. The English is spreading as well. The movement, the children are spreading this magical ritual, and I think it's wonderful. I think this is one of the most powerful memes in a very long time. That's why I made a video about it. You don't know, but I did make a first video about a meme on meme analysis in years, and it will be out.
Someone edit the part where he says 6'7" is death, and then put on like one of the like Black Israelites like screaming about 6'7" being demonic, and do like a Mog edit of like Kabbalistic interpretation of the symbolic significance versus like that shit is just demonic. I mean, it is like the very first one of the very first things I think we talked about was like the dab and planking were two that were physical memes that spread rapidly. And
one of Marley's friends was planking the other day, like a month ago. We were hashtag planking in New York City.
With some good Marley lore we can spread. Marley's going to start showing up more. I think I want to say Marley's a bar guy, and Marley
Yeah,
likes to.
if you have been to the Lower East Side and had a
You've
drink,
probably
you have
been.
undoubtedly seen Marley. If you have played pool and been beaten in pool against a beautiful long-haired man, that was Marley.
I was talking about the Bob Dylan movie with some people earlier today, and I brought up Marley getting into a spat in the theater that was backed by Adam Friedland, who
So Adam
said he was
Friedland
right. It was
moved by the
the
libidinal
bravery.
extreme, the extremity of such a man, of such a vital man.
But yeah, I guess I'm gonna be a bit utilitarian here and just talk to the audience because you know um, a handful of things are happening. Many things are happening. It is happening again. It will keep
Indeed,
happening, but we have many gifts for you soon. Wondrous
I know that's
treats,
a throwback, a
sensual.
classic.
I mean, we never sold them. I have
Did we
hundreds of
never?
them in my house.
What the fuck? We never sold those. I
Listen,
posed with that for nothing.
you posed a few times with it. Um,
Uh,
but what I'll say is that New York, New York MIA activation. If you're in New York, if you're someone with creative abilities and you're willing to slave at a vision for free, for no reward, for nothing other than spiritual fulfillment.
other
No,
than the
there
greatness
are.
and grandiosity of action and vigor and victory in that action.
I will say, yeah, that the era the MIA is entering into, I think the futurist manifesto and the words of Marinetti are very tied. We are fully applying everything we have been cultivating. We've taken on a few special ops division projects, but now it is just purely untethered madness. Soon our works will be seen. Operation Norwood will commence. Operation Ignorewood. Um, Beyond this, uh, the whatchamacallit, New York. Another thing, we'll talk about this more in another episode, but the MIA approved media list will expand rapidly. We're going to be bringing you beautiful films and books and games and toys and all kinds of ways to interact. Maybe a good MIA service would be we we find uh never mind. This is a private. This is for the Patreon. I'm pulling
Let's
back.
talk.
All right,
Let's.
you go.
I want to talk about. I want to talk about my 36 card system. A few people actually have been, excuse me, messaging about it, recognizing that it is a revolutionary system. Back to jerking myself off. I don't think people know how significant of a system and a systemic change to divination this is, and how much more accessible it is to you. The things that you can do with a deck made in this method, in the method of the cryptid cards. And can we talk about the deck that we just made? Because I'd
Yep,
imagine
there
by the time the
maybe.
podcast is out, it'll probably.
I mean, I can release this tonight. I think what I'll say, and you can build off of this, is there's a collaboration, a re-releasing special edition of Symbol, and it will be amidst a cacophony of MIA media and events and happenings in February. And if you
Oh,
are on the East Coast, or maybe a little bit in LA, more so New York, but we're reactivating all the sleeper cells.
one might even say a reformation of the symbol deck into this 36 card modality. So let's talk. Let's talk. Here's a key element. So, are you number one? Let's just talk about tarot. Are you aware of the four worlds in Kabbalah? Okay, so
Tell me.
so the four suits. You've seen the tree made of 10.
Yep.
The tree is actually like really long. But you could also look at it like a hologram, where it's like 4 trees on top of each other. And these are the 4 worlds, which are the 4 elements, which is Yod He Vav He, and it's like Asya, Beretzia, blah 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 blah. So Kether holds the 4 aces. Kether, which is number 1, is itself made of the 4 aces. So something that you'll see in these decks is the containment of all of the aces in the Kether card. So, for example, let's talk about the Mayan deck, which I think we're about to put out fairly soon. I actually just called with Cracky last night, just getting some final touches on it, but it's very, very, it's pretty much done. So the ace, the Kether card in that deck is the Yox-Che. It's the world tree, the Mayan world tree. And then the 4 aces are the components of the tree. So you have the branches, which are called Yol. You have the cups, which is a vessel that holds the tree, which is called Kum, believe it or not. The Ace of Swords is clouds, which are called Moil. And the Ace of Discs, which is the base upon which the vessel and tree sit, which is called Tem. So those 4 aces are all within the card that is number 1, Yox-Che, the world tree. So the ace, the Kether contains all of the 4 aces within it. This is just a key notion, because those 4 aces essentially are. So we have 1 through 10, cards 1 through 10. When you add an ace, you can signify this is the 3 of wands, or the 3 of cups, or the 3 of swords. There's probably some advanced visual thinking.
Talk about the. So what with the Kabbalistic interpretation of the Lenormand deck? How do you denote the aces? Where does that show up on the cards, and how does the system like translate over the different genres of deck or flavors or aesthetics?
So the bottom of the card, the bottom corners are what give you the information. They are all numbered in a uniform way, and the bottom corners of the cards communicate quite a lot. They have various symbols that are associated with the system. They have the planetary or astrological symbol. Another thing that pretty soon you'll be able to do if you've bought all of our decks, is if you get 4 36 card decks, you can make your own full tarot deck, a chaos magic tarot, and then you can pick and choose which major arcana you want to represent. So maybe the Hierophant is Bigfoot to you, but maybe the magician is Itzamna, the Mayan god. So you can form a deck out of these various systems that we have corresponded and made into decks. But as for Lenormand itself, of course, I think that what I'm really excited to do, I was at the bar with Sean the other night, reading him with my Lenormand, the Bluebird, the one that I like. And I was just like, damn, I need to fucking get the nursery rhyme deck made. You want to talk a bit about nursery rhymes?
I was going to make a joke about gathering the Magic the Gathering. Will be it's like a new card game. We know a guy who he puts all those toys in the stores and the Walmarts and the it's like there's the one city in I think it's Alabama where like it's like the Walmart city. If you ever want to get something in Walmart, you need to go to that city. You need to speak to the people. It's like a fake town. That's all Walmart people. But they own a small city in the U.S. as one of their bases of operations.
We should get the decks at Walmart. Do you want to give a planet or a sign, and I'll give the nursery rhyme?
That's on the theme of Venus.
Let's see what I have for Venus. Okay, so this is another opportunity to explain something. So Netzach, 7, the Sephirot, is Venusian in nature, but it is not Venus itself. Venus is separate. So Venus is card Roman numeral 3. Netzach, which is Venusian, is Arabic numeral 7. So I'll give you Netzach first, the Venusian one. So the Lenormand, so these are traditional Lenormand cards, just with this added meaning. So the card I give to Netzach is Lilies. Little Miss Lily, you're dreadfully silly to wear such a very long skirt. If you take my advice, you would hold it up nice and not let it trail in the dirt. So when you think of that, think of the tarot card Debauch, the 7 of Cups, the skirt getting dirty. That, to me, is that image. And then the Empress. The Empress herself is flowers. And so this is a classic, which I'm positive everybody listening has heard from Simon and Garfunkel, but this is actually one of the oldest English songs ever. Can you make me a cambric shirt, parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme, without any seam or needlework? Then you shall be a true love of mine. And that is the card Flowers. So you can see the relation of flowers and lilies.
I'm thinking about Mel Robbins, the podcast host. On the next episode of the MIA, I will aggressively extract as much clippable material from Chris as possible.
Let's keep going. Let's keep going through the
wellspring. Through the nursery? All right,
Yeah,
Mercury.
Okay, Mercury. Mercury's a great one. So if you were all good boys and girls and you've read my reading list, then you've read the aspects of the masculine and the aspects of the feminine, or at least you've read the archetypes and the collective unconscious by Jung. So you understand why Mercury, the magician, is a fox. The card in this deck is the fox. A fox jumped up one winter's night and begged the moon to give him light, for he'd many miles to trot that night before he reached his den. Oh.
Have you seen the show? Oh, I'm like retarded right now. Fuck, I'm trying to think. Fleabag. Have you seen Fleabag?
Nope.
The fox is a very powerful symbol in Fleabag. For the MIA girlies.
Have you seen Antichrist?
Pining. No.
The Lars von Trier movie?
No.
The fox
I've seen someone.
The fox is also very important there.
I think it's just fun. You speaking about that just made me think there's a priest at the end who very much is a sort of something in between the magician and the hermit.
Well, that brings me to anybody who's on the Discord knows that my profile picture there is Reynard the Fox, who famously dresses himself as a priest so that he can, do bad things under divine protection, which is classic Mercury, classic trickster. To the point, actually, Reynard becomes the French word for fox. The stories precede it.
This is true. I lived in Paris and took high school French. Can verify. I'm thinking about.
Let's talk about France. I had such a magical and wonderful time in Paris. I love Paris. Parisian. So here this is actually important to give the shout out to MIA listener and now dear friend Andre, who is I think he was born in the States, works in Germany, but was in Paris for a long time. But I met up with him in the winter, so about a year ago, and he introduced me to some fantastic, wonderful people, including my dear friend Matt Lum. Matthew Lum, who is like a beautiful, beautiful oil painter. Some of the most fantastic oil paintings you've ever seen, and fantastic, classical subjects. I cannot recommend him highly enough. I spent, after reading The King in Yellow and going back to Dorian Gray, and I was swept up in the kind of Parisian romance. And then when I went there in the summer, particularly, Matt had a like destroyed church as his studio, as his painting studio, and that is where I wrote, for those weeks. And just like this great artistic community formed. It was like the old days. It was like a story. It was astonishing. Really unlike anything else I've experienced.
Did you go to it's like the Belle Epoque, but did you go to what's the Shakespeare bookstore in Paris?
Oh, yeah. That's lame.
It's fun. Did you go to a little market outside? I forgot what that place is.
I just like, ancien livre, like all the, the old bookstores with old men. There was a funny one. Have you heard of Pere Ubu? Do you know this? It's a band, but it's named after a surrealist play. And I was like, oh, because I saw the guy had it. He had like a playbill hung up. And I'm like, oh, Pere Ubu. And he's like, what? What are you saying? He's like, what are you saying? And I said, and he's like, and I point, and he's like, Ubu, Pere Ubu. It was very, very funny. Very, very funny. And I got a Rene Guénon book there as well.
What to talk about the French people? Talk about do you think the Europeans are culturally progressed, or do they be on their phones?
There's a mixture. I think that they are simultaneously kind of dead. It's like they are far behind the times, but in a way that is very endearing and sweet. They don't have to deal with the harsh reality of being an American. We are dealing with some insane bullshit, and which is to say reality. Like the American reality is the reality, and Europeans ignore this. But on the other hand, they are fucking and drinking, and they know how to live their body. They know how to treat human life properly, which we don't at all. Even the richest people in America are fucking miserable and stupid compared to, poor people in Europe. We have zero idea how to treat life. Only in New York is it even close to appropriate. But like we are like outrageously spoiled. Like in LA, we're outrageously spoiled because we have so many friends that we get to have a semblance of life. But if you like meet randos in LA, like life is fucking miserable and terrible. It's not like New York.
I will say it. I want to talk about Europe, but I will talk about LA and New York and how if you are a young person watching this, LA is a city that is really only fun if you know the right people. And I say this as someone who went to school there, and it's not that it was miserable, but it was hard at the beginning. Like when you don't have friends, it takes time. You need a fucking car also. That's a different thing. But New York is accessible and will always be kind of the greatest North American city. They're really the only great one.
The greatest city in the world.
Respects. I mean, maybe Mexico City. Mexico City's pretty good. I don't think Canada has a great city. I'm sorry, Toronto's a shithole. Vancouver is 100% Chinese, which is fun, but it's basically a Chinese city.
Well, I think this is why we should go
Montreal is kind of fun.
We should go to Hong Kong. That's my current.
Right, I was gonna say there are certainly MIA arcs for Paris, and we're not gonna talk about China. We're not gonna talk about China. We're not gonna talk about Judy. The European the European question, truthfully, I think that's a good meme. I think Brian Johnson is like a exaggerated version of what you're speaking about in the US, like the peak US elite who is like eating powders and like doing retarded like wiggling himself with magnets and sleeping in a bed, and the culmination of his life is like getting pussy from one goth chick once and making it his like thing. I'm sorry, Brian Johnson, but you are probably mogged by like a medieval peasant in Europe. And I will say this is I'm gonna go on a this is something close to me right now because I'm talking to some brands and companies that are into the blue zone thing. But I think the the New World Order, whatever World Economic Forum, eat the bugs interpretation of blue zones is that Europeans eat way more plants. That the European diet is 95% plant based,
No.
and it's like no, it's purely vibe. It's like literally if you go to these places, they just like it's kind of like the way. It's just they live better. They live with a more it's the fact that it is like 3 hours to eat a meal. It's not really about there's certainly
Well, we are
scientific.
in an MK Ultra lab. The United States is an MK Ultra lab, and everybody's
Yes.
lifestyle is like a mind control rape slave. And you have like
You will
flashing
be a fucking
lights. There's like
it's the
flashing
chicken
lights
nugget
and screaming sounds that are making you a
the
chicken
chicken
nugget
nugget
person.
factory. The chicken nugget factory.
Yeah, that is why and this is why expats in Europe, like it's not like it's very easy to also just become vibey. Like an American in Europe is in a very uniquely good position because if you can, vibe with it, you will just every like the things that are very difficult here become very easy there.
What do you think about like the other what do you think about San Francisco?
I
Or
don't like.
maybe not even just
I don't
San
know.
Francisco.
I haven't.
Not but it's the area like have you been to like the coast of NorCal and like in between LA like where I don't know there's a pocket of what San Francisco was before the techies.
I
Do you know what
haven't.
I'm
I
referring
haven't
to?
spent any time there, but I know what you mean. I know what
Okay.
it was.
Just what the blue zones are is like people live longer and are like have less stress. But it's like parts of Europe, parts of the there's a
New
handful of
Jersey.
these buckets. um Maybe we could come up with a different zone that Tony Soprano was inhabiting. It's the Goomba zone.
I love. I love New Jersey. Anywhere I go, also is New Jersey. That's something. Paris is New Jersey.
What are the
Literally.
names like New Jersey like K-populism? Like I'm trying to think of a good catch-all here. New Jersey nationalism, New Jersey populism, New Jersey
New Jersey nationalism. I think that's a Twitter
nation. The
account.
nation is it
My
actually
my country, New Jersey.
the nation of New Jersey? New Jersey deniers when faced with a beautiful pork roll sandwich and the fucking turnpike getting rammed into by.
Yeah, do you remember like day one of when we met and we're driving and we just see somebody fucking smash into the midway?
They're enlightened. They're
Yeah,
experiencing car crashes every day. It's the closest Americans are to God is in New Jersey.
absolutely right. Absolutely right.
Is the Garden of Eden now located in New
I
Jersey?
didn't I talk about this in the podcast? I call it
At
because
one
New
point,
Jersey
yeah,
is the Garden State. It's the Garden of Eden state.
I do remember that. Yeah. What? Okay, this is gonna sound I'm gonna speak very. I don't think about Europe a lot, which is part of this whole idea I'm about to say. I don't think about them. I think about other countries. They're off the map. Like even the fucking what is it? Eurostar, the random like do you know like the people who win that? Like it's just
No, they
retards.
don't. No, yeah, no.
Yeah. Who
Artistically,
the fuck
this is
are
the
these people?
problem.
Yeah. Nothing
They
good
have
is
no
coming.
struggle.
And
They have no struggle. This is why it's better to be an American in Europe. You need struggle.
I think it's a complicated thing to pitch because frankly, having lived there, the average person is vibing way harder, and they are better because of that. There are less chicken nugget people. Maybe they're like more like jambon and brie sandwich people. Like they're chocolate croissant people.
True.
And that is good. That is good that they're smoking and like I love.
People.
Yeah, but something there is like a thirst for annihilation that is the U.S. and whatever the like Tower of Babel chicken nugget factory death cult we're a part of that produces um what Marinetti was speaking about.
Yes,
like that the
absolutely.
air
Well,
of that cultural power is there.
yes,
It's
I mean,
most likely in New York if it's anywhere.
actually, I actually kind of disagree with. I think that New York is the locale for a lot of events, but I think that the people, like the
like right
liminal
this
elite,
second.
are all over the country. I think, in fact, they're often more times in suburbs waiting. They need to be drawn out. They need to be brought out to wreak havoc.
MIA soldiers activate.
Yes.
I think there's a case to be made. One thing I'll say is I am the botched project of Dime Square, that humiliating failure of our capital expenditures. We've learned, and the LA experiments we've learned, but finally we'll make another great age of New York. It's not Miami. It's like a absolutely brain dead take that any of the Sneeko club, all of that shit in Miami is like Miami, it has like an average IQ of like 80. The types
Miami is
of
the worst, and just it's because it's gone. It's not proper. It's not the Miami of Lucas. It is the Miami of the crypto retard.
Yeah. I mean, and to think there is certainly something happening online, some kind of lull in which the 6-7 death toll is like, I do think this is a complicated idea, but it is that the new young people do not spend the same amount of time online. There is like a turning of generations where the experiment of, if you're probably watching this, you're probably at the end of the internet, and there is like a 15 to 20 year age range of people who are terminally online, and that door is closing and the internet is ending, and you will either be a weird perverse AI cultist or you will like choose to live. And
The
but
angel or the
there will
alien.
be, I mean, the we are Gen Z is really Gen X, and it's gonna just be a bunch of weird porn addicted former YouTube. Like it's just gonna be a very gross thing in the long run. We'll make awesome stuff. Some of us, I mean, very few of us will make interesting stuff, but we're like a stepping generation in the way Gen X is, and you're if you want to change the world, you need to be looking at
The
the
youth.
real world right now. You can't the internet. If 6-7 is anything to me, it's just the death toll of that specific era of the internet meaning what it meant. But everything interesting will happen in person, and I'd like to wager in the U.S. that we pick a city and we're like, let's do a great thing again. Let's like make a thing in this one place. And there's kind of like two options, and one is the more obvious one right now.
Shall we talk about the I Ching?
Which part of it?
This has been, my great work. The people who are like, oh my God, you need to upload YouTube videos. I have translated the I Ching from Chinese since 2022. I finished it in early 2023, and right now I'm doing the commentaries weekly on Tetragrammaton. The tarot, the 78 tarot, a full book of tarot analysis is done. Yet you ask for video content. You ask for video content because you are chicken nugget people. Because you can't read. Because you won't read. You deny my grand works. I say, I will make videos for you, and they will infect you.
mean, right now we're niche though. You know, the videos unlock aspects of things. You know, one who wants power desires, but you'll lose something in that. Right now, the
real work is
right people
literary.
read. Yeah, I mean, the right people read, and you're at a size where it's like you're reaching the right people by putting your work in writing. It's chicken nugget people deterrent, and the videos though, as a I'm like PT Barnum working for Oil Tycoon, and I can get you 1 million chicken nugget people who will do whatever you want. And in that, you could live out any pornographic fantasy. You could have anything on earth. But this is an era that I think will be looked back upon because of the quality of the network that any of this work of the past decade has established. These are like real people. It's maybe the charm of the pod is that it is not chicken nuggetified fully. It still feels like a bit of a conversation, as sporadic and ghost induced it is. Ghosting induced. We be ghosting yo ass. We manipulating you MIA followers. We drop you with the best episode yet. You guys reward us. High engagement, high share follow through rate. You know what's gonna happen then? You know the meme of like my situation or the love of my life before they ghost me forever. It's like oh, we're gonna get married.
There's AI copy on Whole Foods products now. Like the text on a box is all written by AI now. You want to hear how bad this is? This is on organic peanut butter and cocoa balls cereal. Imagine for a moment that you are an astronaut and your mission is to eat these little asteroids of delicately sweetened organic corn and oat flours, peanut butter and cocoa. Sounds like a pretty sweet gig, right? It is, and it's all yours. Don't forget to drink up that Milky Way at the end of the bowl. That's not written by a human. That is not a human. It is not for humans. This is chicken nugget people writing. The chicken nugget person reads that and is bemused. This is the closest thing to pure evil I have ever read on any product ever. All right, kiddos, pour some milk in your bowl and put your thinking caps on because it's time to find some words! Exclamation point. That's fucking evil. This is pure, wretched evil. I don't know about you, but one of my great pleasures as a child was reading things in the bathroom. Like when you're reading the soap, Dr. Bronner's soap, reading Dr. Bronner's soap in the bathroom, a joyous experience. If I had to read that while I ate my cereal and I was 5 years old, I would like kill my mother and father. And they should.
AI induced infanticide. I mean, I think the likelihood of a type of AI cult forming among Gen Alpha that drives them to like militant acts of techno extremism, this pinky's coming off if that's not in the next 30 years here. I'm sorry. And I have hope for the youngins. I have no hope if you're watching this podcast. You're on Chicken Nugget Watch, but sub 15, I have hope. I think I have met some young people. I've met some toddlers where I'm like, enough is known about the effects of the internet. We're all going to be in like a fucking Narcotics Anonymous group 40 years from now talking about fucking porn and fucking Turkey Tom videos we watched. It was like,
could I have a
where were you when you...
Thank you.
you watched the Giggly Clown Files? Clavicular Victims Anonymous. Damn, I wish I had a beer. I just have to drink this disgusting...
I'm like digging on Peroni, honestly. I like a
yeah, I mean, Peroni.
I have no shame in light. I like light. I prefer light beer to IPA. I'm an IPA hater, but I like a dark beer. I like a stout quite a lot. But thank you, my dear. I love you.
Right. I think this is a good departure place, but guys, we're about to not be niche. That's all I'm gonna say. So
You're
if you
early
ever
investors. You're day ones.
if you ever had an urge to speak to us before we're gonna ego the shit out of you more than we already probably have, this is your last chance. Say something interesting.
We won't forget about you. We won't forget about you. You're coming up with us.
We switching up on the day ones.
Switching up on day ones.
The progression of a true MIA fan is you watched us at one point, maybe found it amusing, and then you fucking like hate our guts, and then you're like running an organization hellbent on our destruction. That is like a self-actualized. That is the point. The point is
we're doing
to do your own
dialectics.
shit. All right. It is what it is.
Memes matter.
Bless up.